I want to encourage you to take the affirmation cards that are in the program and take them home and, well, I use mine. So I read it like every day for that week, and then I usually stick it in a book as a bookmark, and then I come across it again in a time that, there's always a synchronicity. It's like, oh, thank you for that reminder, I needed that. So, if you like, that's what they're there for. Okay. Yes. So, today is what it does. And what is it? What the heck is it? What is it? What is it? Well, it's spirit, infinite intelligence, divine mind, the infinity of all, love, God, all that stuff. Law, yeah. So, I want to start a little bit. I'm going to quotes are. This is a quote, so don't go to sleep, okay? This is Ernest Holmes telling us something. And he says, perhaps the simplest way to state the proposition is to say that we are surrounded by a mind or intelligence that knows everything and that the potential knowledge of all things exists in this mind. Well, okay. And that the abstract essence of beauty, truth, and wisdom coexist in the mind of the universe, and that we also exist in it, and we may draw from it. But we can only draw from it if we draw it through ourselves. It's got to come through us. So a unity must be established, and a conscious connection must be made. Conscious. And I'll speak to that in a minute. Before we can derive benefits from the greater mind that is willing to reveal or impart to us. Now, the comment I want to make about the consciousness part is that the law of mind is always in action. It's always saying yes. The consciousness comes in on when you're consciously co-creating with spirit. Because if you're unconsciously co-creating with spirit, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what your untrained, unconscious mind is asking for. I have reason to know that this is a problem. When my unconscious mind is not, I call it's unsupervised. Unsupervised thinking for me is not usually a good thing. It sometimes works okay, but sometimes not. But what does it do? It can change your life. It can change your life. It can infuse it with love, light, creativity, abundance, joy, beautiful relationships, friendships, amazing things. And it's the light and love that's within you that you're recognizing. You're claiming it. You're coming forth. All the good that's out there that you've been filtering out is available to you when you shift, when you change things. It gives us a reason, a purpose for living. It gives us a scientific, a clear way to shift conditions and things in our lives that we are not in love with. And doing it confidently, trusting and knowing that spirit is on your side. Spirit, I come up here and I go, spirit within, take over. I totally trust spirit. I don't have to do it. Spirit is working through me, and it eliminates greed and suffering, all these things. And it's shining that light on our inner pathway, our inner dreams, our knowings, the reality of the beauty that we are. And that's what it does. But if we don't know about it, and we're not using it, we have those unsupervised experiences. You guys have had them too. It's true. Because it's like what we do is there's a mold, we make a mold, and then divine mind fills it. And then we have this beautiful creation. But mine had bumps in it, it had cracks in it, little imperfections in my molds. Little things that this is what I want, except that some of this stuff is incomplete. Or the whole side of one of the molds was missing. So, what is Spirit, what is God going to fulfill if my fears, my doubts, my concerns, my faith is not strong? What is going to come out? And it's like, I don't really give it a chance. Because I'll say, here's what I want, and then maybe you put Jello in it, except that I keep going back to stir it to see if it's working. Do you know what happens to Jello when you stir it? It doesn't set. Or if you make it with pineapple juice, it doesn't set either. How many people have done that? So there's little things that we do because we're not trained. We don't know. We don't know. And that's okay. Because what we're doing is we're opening up to learning. That's why we come to spiritual centers. Because there are tools, there are ways that I can learn to grow. I was reflecting back on the first time I walked into a religious science church. And back then it was called the Church of Religious Science. And that was back in the late 80s in Oakland. And it's just, but step by step I've learned to bring the best of me forward. And to be the best I can be with what I know in that moment. And that's all it's called for. Is to keep doing that and forgive yourself when you goof up. You never goof up, do you? This is thin. You got it. Yeah. Because what I noticed is that there are areas of my life where I wish it was different. Different times of my life, it's like, oh, good. You notice that there's a pattern. Like some of my old boyfriends, before I got married. I don't know how many girlfriends it could be. You guys can translate it. It's like, why do I keep attracting? They were actually very nice gentlemen. They weren't a good match for me, but I kept attracting until I met Gary. People that weren't a good match. So there was something in my thinking, in my pattern of thought, that was attracting. And what it was, I realized eventually, was I didn't think I deserved a special loving man in my life. I also at some point had a pattern of weight gain and weight loss. And I didn't think I deserved to have a healthy, slim body. So it's those doubts and those concerns and those little not quite right that you're looking for those patterns in your life. And you go with the past. I don't recommend going into the past much, but if you've got something in your life that's like, just, there's this one area that I really, really want to shift. Or I think something better is out there for me. Then you can do some inner work, some research, some reflection, some contemplation, and see, oh, wait a second. It happened this time, it happened this time, it happened this time. And then forgive yourself, because that pattern, you came by it honestly. We don't know where, we don't know how, we don't have to go there. But you've got this pattern that keeps recurring in your life, and it's not what you want. Now, if you have a pattern that gets you what you want, don't mess with it. If it's working, leave it alone or maybe enhance it. It just, it's possible. But, so the thing is you're putting stuff in and you get the printout, if you will. So my past is my printout, and I'm not going to go through some of the guys I dated. Relax. So the thing is that, yeah, but you change your thinking and you change your life. You change the way you approach things and what you are willing to accept. And guess what? That goes back to the scientific part of it. It's like A follows B equals C. Or whatever, it's amazing that way. But it's trusting Spirit to enhance our lives, to knowing that Spirit's always there. I'm the one who's accepting it or not accepting it. Spirit's always saying yes, and you got to trust it and know. Several years ago, Gary and I were at a Silmar, and we were seeing David White. How many of you know the poet David White? Yeah, he's awesome if you don't know him. And it was in the chapel, and knowing me, I wanted to have a good seat. So I had Gary, I probably told you to do this, I don't know for sure, go and save 2 seats. Right, fourth row, center, all that kind of stuff. So we got there, and this woman was sitting in one of the seats. And I'm going, no, not one of my pictures. And she goes, well, the fleece was only on one seat, and she was not moving. And I was not happy. And so what do? At some point, you gracefully move on. So we're walking up the mid-center aisle, and then I hear my name called. Madalyn. Yeah, and it was Heidi, a new acquaintance of mine that I had just met down in Santa Barbara. And she had a little table in the back. And so we shared her little table in the back. We could see everything, we could hear everything. It was the best time because I got to have that connection with Heidi. And she is a very, very dear friend to this day. But if I'd been sitting down where I saved the seat, trying to control Spirit, I would have missed out on the greater experience. I would have missed out. So what I do when I'm doing the treatment, I will ask for what I want, and I'll say, this or something better. Because my mind may be thinking too small. Spirit may be having a greater manifestation waiting for me, and I'm busy saying, no, I need it this way and this little. I need to control it. It's like, Madalyn, let it go. Let it go. Don't worry about how. Just know it's going to show up. Because we are surrounded by this Spirit, this consciousness. It's always, always available. And it becomes ours when we are willing to embody it, when we are willing to go there and not control it. So, Spirit, like I said, is always ready. And like I'll say, oh, this is going to be great, da-da-da-da-da. And, here's an example. I'm going to download a favorite movie that I want to share with my friends. So I set up the download, everything's cool. And then I come along and I shut off my computer. How many of you have done that? Not that exact thing, but you ask for something from Spirit and then you shut down. You stop your receiving. You're not open to it. Or you've scheduled an update that you don't know how long the update's going to take. All these things where we set something in motion and then we may bail for one reason or another. Or we go unconscious. But Spirit is always there available waiting to give us. It's like here, and we're going, it has to drift through, it has to show up like this, it has to look this way. It doesn't at all. And so it can be very simple. It's like, what are your thoughts? What are you accepting? What are you looking for? Because there is that power in the universe that wants to say yes to you. And then what's your feelings? What is your conviction? Your knowing that that is yours to have, to experience. That's important. How strong are you in that area? And if you have doubts, that's okay. Then you treat and pray to release the doubts. You clear the way. You clear the way. And then you get off your butt If there are actions that are called for, you move forward. You go where you're pulled. It's like it's raining outside, so I'm not going to go. And Spirit's going, go. But no, I don't want to get wet. Maybe that's because it's raining outside really hard. But you see what I mean? It's the doubts or the things, yeah, and you've got to get in action again. Or not. You don't have to do any of this. But your life, your printout will reflect it. So if you're an artist and you're sitting there staring at your paintings, there will be no painting that you will be pleased with if you're sitting there staring at your paintings. Yeah. We are all creating, co-creating our lives. And then we get to see the results, the printout. And if we don't like exactly what it showed up, we can tweak it. It's not like it's a one-time shot. You get to do it again. You can practice. You can learn more things. One of the things that we want to do here at the Sierra Center is provide tools. Provide a way of being and thinking and experiencing the world that enhances your lives. That takes you forward, that takes you beyond what you thought was possible. I look back on my life and I'm going, really? I have done all those things? I had no idea. I got my bloated nothingness, as Emerson calls it, out of the way and let Spirit take over. And it's been an amazing ride. One I could not have designed or anticipated. I didn't know, but I asked Spirit, what's possible here? And I went with it. Just like, wow, what's possible? Yeah, and the law is always in action, like I said. I'll do one more little example. Some of you may know, I used to work in the corporate world. And I was taking BART from Walnut Creek to San Francisco, and I was miserable. I was pretty unhappy. So my little mantra was, give me money and I'll go away. My employer, I did not say that to them, but the message was very clear. So one day, they gave me money, and I got to go away. Now, did it show up the way I wanted? Of course not. I was angry, but I got exactly what I asked for, and I got to take a year off of work because it was so cool. It's what I asked for. So when I say don't be unconscious, I was like consciously unconscious or unconsciously conscious. I don't know. But the thing is be careful what you're muttering because Spirit's listening, and you might just get that, depending on what it is. And the Dalai Lama wants to remind us that right now, at this very moment, we have a mind, which is all the basic equipment we need to achieve complete happiness. That's all you need, is the mind you brought about. You don't need anything else. Just a lot more practice and training, perhaps. Or gratitude. Being so grateful for where you are and what you got. And thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. I am just living in gratitude. And if you don't have the tools yet, you can see a practitioner, you can talk to me, anything. Because it's available, it's out there, and you may need to reach for it. So it goes back to the Spirit can only flow through us. It doesn't come along and beat you on the head. It flows through you. Your actions, your thoughts, your feelings. There's a process to it. There's a way it flows. There's a way it works. And I wanted to end today acknowledging someone that I've admired. And many of you probably know her, Mary Oliver. Passed away today, or Thursday. She passed away Thursday. And so I went back to her poems, and there were so many. Their Journey, Wild Geese. But I picked the Summer Day, maybe because it's January. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it twice. so that you can really hear. A Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. This one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't exactly know what prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last? Too soon? Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan? Who made the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who's flung herself out of the grass. The one who's eating sugar out of my hand. Who's moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I do not know exactly what prayer is. I do know how to pay attention and to fall into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything at last die and too soon? Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Let's take this into prayer. I open up to the magnificence of the universe, the all-powerful, the all-loving divine spirit. I know and accept the source of infinite possibilities as alive in me as it is alive in the entire universe and every individual here. I know and accept that this divine unity, this wholeness is my birthright. I know it, I feel it, and I experience it. And from this knowing, I accept and know for the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living that this center is a thriving, flourishing congregation, community, gathering of people as we experience spirit in beautiful forms, as we co-create this beautiful community, and then each and every individual is joyously co-creating their own life with spirit. So I accept and know abundance for everyone here. I accept and know that the divine health and well-being is the birthright of everyone here, and that each and every one of us are divinely guided in the highest and best expression of self-care. And I also know and accept that we are all surrounded by love, light, joy, happiness, friendship, beautiful relationships as we come forth with our love and our light. And we are met, and that is multiplied, pressed down, running over, infinite. Because love truly is what there is here to experience. It is all. It is love. And I also know and accept that each and every one of us are called forth to do our divine work, our inner work and our outer work. and that there is that joy, that love in co-creating together in fellowship. So I know and accept that there is abundance, there is beautiful expression of the flow from that one divine source, and it comes in a multiplicity of avenues. There are so many channels for the good to show up in so many forms. And I embrace this knowing that we know what it does. We know what God does. And in this knowledge, we go forth and we co-create together with consciousness. And so I celebrate this life. I embrace this life. And I'm grateful for the law that is always in action and always saying yes. It always says yes. So each manifestation is a gift. And I'm so grateful. So if any of these words resonate with you, and you'd like to close with me by saying, and so it is.